Hey friends, what's up? Ethan Sawyer, aka the college essay guy here. Do I only wear blue shirts? Pretty much is the truth. In this video, I'm gonna talk to you about 5 common app personal statement topics to maybe avoid. I'm gonna walk you through some that are like probably avoid, and then I'm gonna talk to you about some based on college admission officer conversations that are like, yeah, probably almost certainly avoid. And then I'm gonna share with you 7 other topics that you might consider writing about instead. Quick note, I don't love talking about which topics to avoid because sometimes when I do this, students are like, oh my gosh, you just like zapped the most genius idea that I had. So I just want you to know that if I zap your genius idea in the next 15 seconds, stay tuned because at the end of the video, I'm gonna give you some other cool ideas. All right, first a list of some pretty common topics. If that was too fast, feel free to go back and pause the video. In case you missed it, maybe don't write about Lego or Legos if you're interested in engineering. So many students do this. I actually have a whole separate video. So if you're a STEM student and you're thinking about talking about Lego or Legos, check out that video. It's linked below. Why not write about these things? Well, your job here is to like stand out, hopefully in a good way. And if you're writing about a common topic, it's that much more difficult to do that. Now, can you stand out with a common topic? You totally can. And there's another video linked below on how to do that. But the reason I wouldn't necessarily recommend these is that it sometimes puts the reader into what I call skimming mode. So the reader reads down and they're like, oh great, another violin essay, or oh nice, a basketball essay. Having said all that, there are some even more common topics. In fact, I'll give you my top 5 list that I would say almost certainly avoid. Number 1 is the big performance essay, where someone is standing backstage and their knees are weak and their like palms are sweaty, and they're getting ready to go on and give the big speech or do the dance or play the flute, and they're nervous. And then guess what? They push through that nervousness and they build their sense of confidence. Super common. Number 2, the big game essay, where you're like down by 2 runs and it's like 1 minute left, and guess what? You win the game or you lose the game, but you learn a valuable life lesson. Related to this, number 3 is the sports injury essay. You're running or jogging and suddenly pop or crack or snap and you break the thing that helps you play the sport, which is like maybe like a knee or something, and then suddenly your whole season is lost. But wait, there's like an epic comeback, and even though you don't get to play, you come back as the manager. So you can contribute to this team in a different way. Pretty common. 4th is the mission trip essay, where a student of privilege goes off to another country and they realize their privilege. I've seen less of these since the pandemic, I think because students were like traveling less then, or maybe there's more self-awareness happening, but that one in the past has been super common. The 5th one might surprise you, and it's one of the most common topics I would say since the pandemic. And it's essays about anxiety or depression, aka mental health issues. Now, quick side note, I want to slow down here a little bit. If you are going through anxiety or depression, you're experiencing mental health issues, get some support. I've got some links below with some awesome resources and some folks who would love to talk to you, but find a friend, a parent, a counselor to talk to if you aren't talking to somebody yet. In terms of the college essay and application process, this one has unfortunately become a lot more common. So many students have basically been experiencing mental health issues. So it's become not only something that potentially raises a yellow flag for the reader, but also an essay topic that blends in. 2 more reasons why you might consider other topics is, number 1, remember that your purpose here on the college application is to demonstrate the skills, qualities, values, and interests that you're going to bring with you to a college campus. And a question that I'll often ask students is, do you feel like this is the best way to show all of the awesome sides of who you are? Because there are so many topics that could help you stand out. And second, you don't necessarily have to put mental health issues in your personal statement. You could put it in what's called the additional information section, which is a separate part of your application where in bullet points, you can do 1 to 2 lines on what the challenges and effects were. Number 2, what you did about them. And number 3, what you learned. That way you can write about something else in your personal statement. If after hearing this, you're like, no, I have to write about this, I've got a whole separate video, I'm gonna link it below on how to write about mental health issues in the personal statement. All right, having said all that, if I totally shot down your idea, I wanna share with you 7 different things that you can write about that could totally help you stand out in the process. Number 1, something that you love or know a lot about. This could be an academic subject, it could be something like juggling, it could be, I don't know, blacksmithing or YouTube videos. Basically, something that you know a lot about is going to be something that you're going to have a lot to say about, and you can connect it to different sides of you. Number 2, essence objects. What I mean by this are like specific things that you might find, I'm looking around my desk here, like lying around your house that represent deeper parts of who you are, deeper identities, moments, or memories. Number 3, superpowers and skills. Ask yourself, what are my zones of genius? What are things that I'm super good at? And could it be that for each paragraph, you've got some different side of you expressed, and maybe there's something that connects all your superpowers? Number 4, a career. Now, heads up, if you're writing an essay on like why you want to go in a particular major, maybe don't choose this one, but I love it when students write in specific ways about all the skills they've developed that are going to serve them in their future career, whatever it is, whether it's a chef, artist, dancer, or lawyer, but maybe not lawyer. Number 5, homes. What are some different places where you find that you're in the zone, where you're in flow, where time just disappears? You can dedicate one paragraph to each of those homes. Number 6, identities. What are the different sides of you and how do they express themselves? Could it be that, I don't know, you're interested in drama, so you show your theater side in one paragraph? Are you also interested in social justice? So that comes in a separate paragraph. You can choose different identities and use one paragraph per identity, or choose one specific identity, like growing up first gen and what that's meant to you, and use that as basically your organizing principle for your essay. Number 7 is what I would call an uncommon extracurricular activity. And this is to say, some activity, something that you love, that you spend a lot of time doing, that other students don't necessarily spend their time doing. Is this an I love or I know? Yeah, basically maybe. But essentially it's one of those activities that you've devoted a lot of time to, and talking about how that's helped shape different sides of you, AKA your values, can be a great way to go. If you're watching this video and you're like, oh my gosh, Ethan, I can't do this. I can't start with a new topic. This is doing 3 days. There's a video below that talks to you about how to stand out with a common topic. If you've got more time and you're like, ooh, I'd kind of like to take a course with Ethan. I teach courses every year. They're live and on demand. I'd love to have you. And oh, by the way, they're pay what you can because we don't want finances to be a barrier. And if you're watching this and you're like, you know what, I'd kind of like to work one-on-one with somebody, we do that too at CEG. And yes, we have spots for low-income students. All right, see you soon. You're the best. Much love. Subscribe.